Namaste and welcome to the fifth session on strategies to beat burnout for the physician based on my ebook Life and Soul Healing for the Burned Out MD. Stop the slide to rock bottom, reclaim your energy, and be the boss of your own life. If you're watching this live, please do wave or put a comment saying hi so that I know that you were here. If you are watching this after the live session on a replay, still welcome to this session. As we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Praharsha Menon. I'm a board certified family medicine physician practicing for over 10 years, and I'm also a working physician mother. And what most people may not know about me easily is that I was once a burned out physician. So when I was burned out, it really shook up my life. I felt like my life was slipping from under me. It made me question my ability to sustain my career, my energy levels, my ability to spend time with loved ones, and sometimes even my sanity. And I'm grateful for the journey of healing from it. And now I'd like to pay it forward and help female physicians facing burnout heal from it and reclaim the life of their dreams. If you've not been able to download a copy of my ebook for yourself, we have been doing a series of workshops once a week for the past 4 weeks. This is the 5th session of it. We discuss strategies to beat burnout based on my ebook. If you've not been able to download a copy of my ebook, please do head over to my website, which is www.praharshamenon.com, and click on the image of the ebook wherever you can find it, and it should lead you to being able to download it. And it is free, by the way, if you were not aware of that. To summarize what we have done so far in the previous sessions, in the first session, we were able to identify the factors leading to our burnout. In the second session, we tried to look at the effects of burnout on us, and we tried to categorize those effects based on the chakra system so that we can target our healing. We have a strategy to address those effects so that we can heal from them. And in the third session, we learned to connect to our authentic self, the core of who we are and what we are here to bring into this world, because that is important from healing from burnout. And in the fourth session, we discussed how healing happens from the inside out. One aspect of burnout is that there's a lot of external factors which play into it, besides the need for healing within us. So today we're going to discover the relationship between those, how those external factors and our internal healing go together in helping to heal from burnout. So today's chapter is called Everything is Energy. So this is one of my favorite sections because this is exactly where spirituality blends into quantum physics. And as a woman of science, and physics was my favorite subject in school, so this is of a great interest to me. It actually just blows my mind every time I think about it. Let's get into the chapter. We talk about energy. So how can we relate the human body to energy? As physicians, we know that EKG and EEG are objective measures of measuring the electrical activity in the tissues of the heart and in the brain. So it goes without saying that our cells have electrical activity in them, and when there is electrical activity, there can be an electromagnetic field. So our body as a whole has a bioenergetic field, and there are to look at the scientific basis for this, and also to see if there's any way to objectively measure this. Please do. There's some interesting pieces of information that I discovered, and it's in my ebook. So the next time someone gives you a bad vibe, you may be picking up on their electromagnetic field. So, and the other thing about this electromagnetic field is that our energy level, energy that we exude, not our energy level, but the energy that we exude, or this electromagnetic field around us, it is constantly fluctuating. And what is one of the main factors affecting our energy that we exude? It is our emotions. Yeah, our emotions can be translated into our energy. So for details on how these two may be linked and how our energy field can be objectively measured, you may want to download a copy of my ebook. And how does all of this work? Let's look at that. we may know that the colors of the visible colors of the white light, visible spectrum of the colors in the white light, they have different frequencies, and each frequency stands for a different specific color. And we know that the denser the color, the lower its frequency, and the lighter the color, the higher its frequency. So the denser colors like red, the frequency is lower, so it's visible easier than violet light, which has a higher frequency, so it's not as dense, so it's not easily visible from a distance. The same principle applies to our emotions too. Emotions do have a certain specific energy which affects our electromagnetic field. And so the denser the emotions, they're associated with a lower energy. The happier the emotions, or the lighter the emotions, they're associated with a higher energy. So for example, emotions like anger, hatred, fear, guilt, shame, they all are associated with a lower frequency. And those that make you feel lighter and expanded, like love, forgiveness, acceptance, all those are associated with a higher energy, a higher frequency. So this has something to do with how we handle healing internally. So let's try out a real life scenario to see how this works. If you're starting out on a new venture, say for example, and you are worried if it will work out. So the predominant thought in your mind is maybe that of worry, you know. So your internal dialogue may be something like, is this really going to work out? Excuse me, there's something on my screen, I just had to address that. Is this really going to work out? Or I'm afraid of failing at this. And how does that make you feel? Let's tune in on how it makes you feel. It may make you feel anxious right away, but if it continues over a period of time, it can easily lead you to feeling desperate or despair, and even giving up hope, sometimes even depressed. So on the other hand, if we change that internal dialogue to, I am learning how to make this happen, how does that make you feel? So there is an element of positivity in it, there's an element of hope in it, there's an element of faith and trust in it. So it changes the underlying emotion within you, from worry, fear, anxiety, and hopelessness to self-trust, power, and confidence. So another point that comes to mind is that there's this concept of healing that is all pervasive, like everything in life is connected. So when we heal on the inside, it reflects on the outside. So as within, so without. How does that happen? How does that apply to us when we change our internal dialogue this way, or when we shift our emotions from a lower frequency one to a higher frequency one? How does it bring about healing to our external environment? Of course, it can heal our inner environment. How does it bring healing to our external environment? So our external circumstances have a frequency too. So the hard and bad situations have a lower frequency, and the happier, lighter, empowering circumstances, they have a higher frequency. So when we shift our internal dialogue, it shifts our emotions. And so that means it shifts the energy, the predominant energy frequency of our energy field. This means we are attracting circumstances of a matching frequency. So when we stay in a fear or shame or guilt, we are attracting circumstances which induce more of those same emotions. At the same time, when we transmute those into love or acceptance or self-trust, then it attracts more of external circumstances that match those higher emotions, higher frequency emotions. So, and this has a lot to do with burnout, because burnout has a good element of external factors playing into it as well, as you may be well aware, besides our own internal environment. So by working on our own healing, we raise our default frequency and hence the quality of our external circumstances. So I hope this has been helpful. I do see some folks are watching. Welcome. Thank you for watching. I hope you're finding this helpful as well. And so the main points I would like you to take home from this chapter are: each of us has a basic bioenergetic field and frequency. Thoughts lead to emotions. Each emotion has a frequency which can affect our bioenergetic field. Thus, our thoughts affect our bioenergetic field and frequency. And our default frequency attracts external circumstances of a similar frequency. So the external world is a mirror of our internal environment. So let's get to our fun activity for this week. So whenever you're ready, let's take a sheet of paper. always a sheet of paper or your journal, wherever, write whatever writing surface you prefer. It can be a dry erase board, a piece of paper, whatever you prefer. Now let's think of the thing that is emotionally weighing heavily on you right now. Describe on the paper how you feel. When you think about that thing that is weighing on you emotionally heavily, how do you feel? Let's write that down on that piece of paper. If you need some time, I'll be here on standby. If you need to turn off the video or pause the video and then do it and come back to it, that's fine too, whatever works for you. And when you're done, let's try to catch what we are telling ourselves. Like, what are you telling yourself in that scenario? If you're able to catch your internal dialogue, excellent. It gives us an idea of the default frequency that you are in when facing that situation. Now, if you're not able to identify your internal dialogue, that's okay too. That may be for a separate part of your healing journey, and that is completely okay. And when you are done with this exercise, I would encourage you to please post your response in our Enlightened MD Facebook group, which is a heart-centered community, a supportive community, especially for physicians who are trying to heal from burnout. And even otherwise, it's a very supportive, healthy community of fellow physicians. And I would encourage you to join that community or even post these in that community. How you would get there is by following the link www.facebook.com/group/enlightenmds, which is ENLIGHTENEDMDS. And if you would like to explore more on how to heal burnout based on these concepts, please do feel free to download my free ebook. You may download it again by going to my website, www.praharshamenan.com, and click on the any of the images of the ebook, and you should be able to do that easily. And I look forward to seeing your responses in our Facebook group. And by the way, the first person to post a response in the group this week wins a very helpful freebie. So I hope to be able to see your responses and also witness your journey in healing, if you're okay with me witnessing it. Until then, you have a great day. Till we meet again, this is Dr. Praharsha Menon signing off, and Namaste.